Still a tremendous time difference. And Nigel preparing to double his rooks in that open file, bringing the two rooks together to bear down on the weak c3 pawn. So how is Kasparov going to draw up some sort of miracle attack from this position? He's famous for sudden tactical swoops, intricate traps, and amazing attacks from really quite inferior looking positions. But here, I really don't see how White's going to progress. Bishop moved to the side, perhaps trying to get counterplay against the black pawn on the e6 square. That's the one possible weakness in the whole black armoury. The rook comes forward, defending that pawn from the side. Rook goes sideways, leaving the pawn on c3 undefended. The idea is to counterattack against the black pawn on b5. Short well aware here that he has the advantage, and the knight jumps into that powerful outpost square. Rook comes forwards, avoiding the attack of the black knight. Kasparov desperately fighting now to get some cohesion back in its position. Black queen retreats. Kasparov swaps off the dangerous black knight. Short takes back with the rook. Kasparov reaching out for a move there and changing his mind. Yes, now he plays it. Bishop comes out, defending the white pawn. Black queen comes forwards, consolidating move, and there we see the clock again. Virtually 5 minutes difference with Kasparov's clock ticking away. So, Kasparov decides to relieve the central tension, pushing his pawn forward and cutting out all possibilities of exchanging in the middle. And Short blocks the position. White bishop comes back, a defensive move. He's hoping to move his queen and open up an attack against the black rook. And the bishop comes out onto a very active square, taking an important diagonal under its complete control. So Kasparov has to find a way of trying to defend this difficult situation. Queen moves sideways, opening up an attack against the black rook from the white bishop. My God! Short hasn't moved his rook. He simply left it there to be taken by White's bishop. What an incredible decision. And Kasparov hasn't captured it. The point must be that if White takes that rook off, when Black recaptures, he has too much control over the light squares on the board, and that would be worth the loss of rook for bishop. Very interesting that both players should agree on this. Nigel's got plenty of time in hand, and he appears to have the position completely under control. Bringing up his king, still offering the rook. Kasparov still not taking the rook. For once, maybe the only time in his life, Kasparov is bound hand and foot. The world champion can't undertake anything. He just has to wait and sit there and see if Short can finish him off. This is fantastic play by Nigel here. King goes back. Is Nigel just tantalising the world champion? Cutting out the bishop. A little pawn move to stop the bishop advancing. Now Nigel, are you going to try for a win, or will you move the king again? Kasparov's clock hand approaching that red flag. Very dangerous moment for him. And Nigel's going for the win. Rook goes back. Nothing active that White can do here. Knight comes over, attacks the rook. Finally, bishop takes rook. At long last, Kasparov takes that rook that's been on offer for so long. Nigel's thinking, should he just take back the bishop, sacrificing rook for knight? Or should he capture the white rook with his own knight? Difficult decision here. Yes, he's just taken back. So White is rook for knight ahead. Rook for knight ahead, but with his own rook under attack, and his position very passive. The rook's withdrawn, knight goes back, pawn sacrificed by Kasparov. He must get some air for his pieces. Knight takes the pawn, and the white queen comes in. Bishop takes pawn. Rook takes pawn. This is dangerous. It may be that Nigel kept that exchange sacrifice, rook for knight, for too long. Kasparov is now definitely getting some counterplay. Rook attacks the queen. Rook check to the black king. King goes in the corner. Complete safety for the moment. Further attack by Kasparov, bringing his queen in to attack the black king, and black gives check with his queen. Kasparov's king in check. King moves out of check. Kasparov looking very nervous. And the rook comes across, defending the pawn and cutting out some of Kasparov's major threats. A very interesting move by Short. Kasparov's problem is his queen. Rook defending move. That white queen looks aggressive, but in fact it's out of play. The action is taking place elsewhere. Nigel glancing at the clock. Still has plenty of time in hand. It's certainly worth considering bringing back his bishop to the g4 square and then trying to give a check against the white king. Another completely outlandish idea would be to bring up the black king, to move it one square forwards onto g6 and bring the black king into the attack as well. He's done it, my god! What an original, unusual idea. Nigel Short is actually going to attack Kasparov with his own king. A very passive move by Kasparov, dropping his bishop back, but he needs to get his rook on b2, defending on the king side. I've never seen anything like Nigel's attack before, bringing up his own king to attack Kasparov. What cheek against the world champion. Is he going to prove it further? He can put it on h5. He can put the black king on h5 and bring it into even closer proximity with white's king. But maybe that's going too far. No, he's done it again. This is amazing. Nigel Short rushing his own king into attack against the world champion's king. This has never happened before. If Nigel wins this game, it's going to go into the history books. Rook attacks the black queen. Black queen's going to move. It's got to move. Preferably towards the white king. Yes, queen comes forwards. Rook attacks the black queen again. Kasparov must be praying for a draw here. But Short has several ways to avoid that. This really looks as if it's going to be first blood to Short in this game. Surely Nigel can take that white pawn on the a3 square with his queen. Queen takes the pawn on a3. It doesn't just win a pawn, it brings the black queen into a greater attacking position. Yes, he's taken the pawn. As I said, not just a pawn, that queen is on a really aggressive square now. It can shunt forwards or sideways right into the guts of the white fortress. In fact, there's not much of a fortress left. It's more like a desert wasteland after what Short's done to it. Incredible situation. The black queen attacking on the left-hand side of the board, the black king attacking on the right-hand side of the board. Kasparov is completely surrounded. This is Nigel's greatest hour. Check. Pawn check. This looks like desperation. Nigel must take one of the pawns. Kasparov is so tricky. Even these desperation checks sometimes conceal terrible traps. He's taken with the bishop. This is looking truly terrible for Kasparov. Just over 3 minutes left. Short has over 5. Very worried. He knows that with normal play the game's up. Biting his fingernails. He knows it's gone. And that flag raising, the danger signal, when that flag falls, he's lost on time. Rook takes pawn. Bringing the rook back into play at least. Now can Nigel finish him off? Queen in, attacking the white bishop. A terrible move to face. This is it. Surely this is it. Yes, he's resigned. Nigel Short has won!
This time, I can speak to the winner first. Well done.
Thank you.
Well played. I'm not a great chess player, but I was listening to the commentary on that game, and Raymond Keene was going quietly ecstatic up there, particularly because you played something very unusual to begin with. Yes?
Yes, well, I just sort of ad-libbed today. From about move 2, I think.
From about move 2?
Yes.
That's why Raymond Keene said he'd never seen it before.
Yeah, well, it actually, the old Russian Grandmaster Chigorin used to play like this in the last century, but nobody took him seriously.
Gary, would it have been a good idea to take Chigorin seriously?
No, but it wasn't in serious game, but there it was very good idea because I couldn't play seriously after the opening, so I was much better. That's why I was sure that I had to win as soon as possible. But the position was, I think, was equal in the middle game. I could repeat moves maybe, but of course I wanted to win.
I've never known you otherwise.
Yes.
Did you enjoy the game?
Yeah, it's very interesting. The game, but not result.
As usually, enjoyed the game but not the result. Nigel Short, congratulations. Thank you very much indeed. Garry Kasparov, thank you again.